Welcome back. Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here, radioonfire.com, thediamondkshow.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. And here at Radio on Fire, I like to talk about topics that are often by mainstream media just misinforming the public. Unapologetic progressive news coverage and opinion on news, politics, entertainment. Our outlet challenges the establishment and provides a platform for people to demand positive change while speaking truth to power. So as this debacle of a presidency is winding down, the Trump presidency is winding down, he is ratcheting up the pace of executions before Joe Biden's inaugural takes place. This presidency is winding down, but his administration, the Trump administration, has picked up the pace on federal executions. Now, there is a surge of coronavirus in prisons around the country. But starting Thursday, they announced the plans for 5 executions starting on Thursday. And they're going to end just before the January 20th inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden. If these 5 executions go off as planned, it will make 13 since July. 13 executions since July if all of these 5 go down. That is when the Trump administration resumed putting inmates to death after a 17-year hiatus. It will cement Trump's legacy as the most prolific execution president in over 130 years. Let that sink in for a moment. One of the legacies that Trump is leaving is he's executed more people during his time in office than has happened in over 130 years. He'll leave office having executed about a quarter of all federal death row prisoners, despite waning support for capital punishment. And this is among Democrats and Republicans. So how do you feel about the death penalty? How do you feel about it? This move is tragic and political by the president. For every 9 people executed in the United States, 1 innocent person on death row has been identified. So, like I said, this is the legacy that Trump is leaving, wants to leave, and he's completely good with it. I mean, he only wants the law to be followed to the letter when it applies to other people. I'm sure when the hammer comes down for him or some of the questionable things that he has done, he is not going to want to go to the letter of the law then. In a recent interview with the Associated Press, Attorney General William Barr defended the extension of executions into this post-election period. This is the lame duck period, right? This is the time when they ain't supposed to be, he's supposed to be packing things up, but they're trying to ratchet things up. And William Barr says that he'll likely schedule more before he departs the Justice Department. William Barr hopes that the Biden administration keeps it up and keeps it going. William Barr told the Associated Press, "I think the way to stop the death penalty is to repeal the death penalty. But if you ask juries to impose and juries impose it, then it should be carried out." I want William Barr and Donald Trump to make sure they keep that same energy when and if they go to court. Whatever the jury imposes, carry it out, whatever that may be for them, whether it's jail time or what have you. Keep that same energy. So this plan breaks with the tradition, as I told you, about the lame duck presidents, deferring to incoming presidents on policies about which they differ. But of course, you don't expect Donald Trump to, abide by any rules. Do you? There's no rules as it relates to him. Well, he feels like he can overturn. I mean, this is what America signed up for. This is what we have to deal with. Lame duck president, one-term president. Georgia again has certified election results showing that Biden won. I mean, we already knew that. But Georgia's top election official today recertified the state, the election results after a recount was requested by Donald Trump, and it confirmed once again that Joe Biden won the state. The governor then recertified the state's 16 presidential electors. We have now counted legally cast ballots 3 times, and the results remain unchanged. The Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, said today during a news conference at the state capitol in Georgia before they recertified the results 3 times. If Hillary Clinton had requested all of this, oh my goodness, Sean Hannity and all of the clowns over at Fox News, all the clowns over at Newsmax, or One America Network, and all those places would have been losing their minds. Alex Jones would have lost his mind if Hillary was not conceding. But Georgia law allows a losing candidate to request a recount if the margin between the candidates is within 0.5%, and Trump requested the recount after the results certified showed that Biden led by a margin of over 12,000 votes of the roughly 5 million votes that were cast. So there you have it again. And, Trump supporters, they're so funny. I mean, have you no dignity, Trump? No. Trump supporters, have you no dignity? I mean, 3 times he's lost that state. And while Trump is the president in over 130 years that has executed the most people under his watch, you also, under your watch, Georgia turned blue. So that's part of your legacy also. 3-time loser, man. Donald Trump is... Are y'all tired of all this winning? I mean, losing yet? Winning? Call it what you want. Call it what you want. So Giuliani in the hospital with coronavirus after going on a, super spreader tour. And Republicans, Trump supporters, oh, they hate to hear that. They hate to hear the truth. Many of these Trump supporters hate to hear the truth. They get so frustrated. They get so mad. They cry and whine just like Donald Trump. Did I mention already that the votes in Georgia have been recertified? This is the third time today. So it is official 3 times that Trump lost Georgia. He lost Georgia. He lost Georgia. I said that 3 times because, I mean, obviously he needs 3 times before it gets through his pea brain. So that's what that is. Joe Biden will be elected. And it's just, Trump doesn't have to acknowledge it. He's just going to be moving out in a few short weeks. Just a few short weeks. Trump was in Georgia over the weekend. Came there for a rally on Saturday. Trump called the governor and asked him to call a special legislative session. The governor said, "Nah, I'm good." And many people have criticized Kemp for his kowtowing and bowing down to Donald Trump. But as of late, Kemp has stood up and been a real man, stood on the side of right, and I commend him for that. He's been under intense pressure to do otherwise, but he has shown a set of kahunas, or at least he's become separated from the president. So after 4 Republican state lawmakers on Sunday also requested the special session, Kemp put out a statement saying that convening a special session to select a different slate of presidential electors would not be allowed under state or federal law. That's good. Like I said, keep that same energy. Now let's keep this in mind. Kemp is going to probably try to run for re-election 2 years. So, he's thinking about that. Obviously, Donald Trump is soon to be out of power. And Kemp is thinking about his future. He doesn't have to be tied to Donald Trump. Donald Trump lost the state of Georgia. And Kemp is going to obviously run for governor again. And I think that he's going to be going against Stacey Abrams again. He may get a different result. Who knows? Who knows? This is interesting times that we live in. Things are very interesting. I am glad that this Georgia thing has been put to rest. I'm really glad it's been put to rest. And ultimately, the president, Donald Trump, will be forced to leave and accept the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is Joe Biden is the president-elect. I mean, I think that is clear and obvious at this point. But we have to hammer that home for some of the Trump supporters who have enabled this grown man child. It's time to let it go. It is time to let it go. I'm just tuning in. Jermaine Diamond K in here, RadioFire.com, TheDiamondKShow.com, and we're talking about the fact that one of the legacies of this president is going to be that in the last 130 years, if his 5 executions go through, he will have executed more prisoners, death row, than any president in 130 years. So that is something that he's doing for political reasons. He's going to try to make some type of a run again, some point in time. And he wants to say, I was the most law and order president ever was, right? Like I said, keep that same energy because you're going to have some lawsuits and some charges of your own. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. When we come back, we're going to talk about Joe Biden's pick for the Secretary of Defense. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Joe Biden's health team offering a glimpse of his COVID-19 strategy. So that is going to be interesting. Another thing before we take this break, the Trump administration opted last summer not to lock in a chance to buy millions of additional doses of one of the leading coronavirus vaccine contenders. This decision could delay the delivery of the second batch of doses until Pfizer fulfills other international contracts. Of course, Pfizer is, selling their vaccine around the world. This revelation, confirmed today, came a day before President Trump tried to take credit for the speedy development of the forthcoming coronavirus vaccines at a White House summit tomorrow. This vaccine by Pfizer is expected to be endorsed by a panel of Food and Drug Administration advisors sometime this week, with delivery of 100 million doses, enough for 50 million Americans, expected in the coming months. So we talked about this. 100 million doses is enough for 50 million people because you need 2 doses. You need one dose, and then 3 to 4 weeks after that initial dose, you need a second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. So under the contract with Pfizer, the Trump administration committed to buy an initial 100 million doses with an option to purchase as many as 5 times more. So this summer, the White House opted not to lock in the additional 100 million doses for delivery in the second quarter of 2021. Not sure why they did that. Maybe are they trying to leave it open for other manufacturers? I don't know what the reason was, but the Pfizer vaccine is one of 2 on track for emergency FDA authorization this month. The other one is coming from drug maker Moderna. So these are the 2 that are hitting the market: Pfizer's vaccine and Moderna. So Trump's administration insisted today that between those 2 vaccines and others that are in the pipeline, the United States will be able to accommodate any American who wants to be vaccinated by the end of the second quarter in 2021. Let's keep in mind that this is the same guy that said, you want a test, you can get a test. Any of you tried to get a coronavirus test? All right? This is the same guy that said that it was just going to magically go away. Same guy that said that after November 3rd, you weren't going to be talking about coronavirus anymore. And I can go on and on with the lies. So, I mean, you got to take that with a grain of salt, anything that comes from Trump or the Trump administration. Operation Warp Speed. Let me say this. Trump did say that a vaccine was going to come before the end of the year. That may happen. So I give him credit for that, but very little. He had nothing to do with it. And we're hoping that this vaccine is on the up and up, and that side effects are not something that we have to deal with additionally. I'm going to see that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. mainstream media often promotes misinformation. Radio on Fire provides unapologetic, progressive news coverage and opinion. We challenge the establishment and provide a platform to people who demand positive change while speaking truth to power. We are a digital content creator, currently generating over 375,000 viewers per month, listeners and viewers. And like I said, the news, opinion, and entertainment programs here are straightforward and unapologetic. We're going to continue to do that. And we broadcast from our production facilities in Baltimore and Atlanta. So radioonfire.com is where you go. On youtube.com/DJ Diamond K or youtube.com/Radio on Fire. I am here mornings and evenings. And we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be back with more of the program.